Hi family, good evening everyone. Greetings to everyone on the group. I really want to use this opportunity to thank my spiritual parents, Pastor Mio and Temi for this platform. And I really want to appreciate the coordinator of this platform for inviting me to share the words, to share ideas, knowledge with everyone in the group. So let's just quickly make a word of prayer. Father, in Jesus' name, Father, I pray as we learn tonight, we learn from you, which is the source. In Jesus' name, amen. So yeah, business. We are in a generation where a lot of people want to do business, and it's very important that we all do business right. And a lot of people don't really have a lot of ideas on how to run business without getting stuck in between. And I really implore everyone that whatever we are learning tonight would help us resolve this. So we should pay attention, take notes. There will be a section where we can ask questions and we get feedback. And now, if you're on the verge of starting business, you should actually pay more attention, right? You should pay more attention because, so as I was saying, if you're on the verge of starting a business, you should pay more attention. And let me tell you something, that the very first person to start something is God. And I'm not trying to sound spooky, or I'm not trying to sound, religious, but it's the truth. Because from the dawn of creation, God had an idea, and God wanted to execute an idea, and He did. So we'll be using the section is actually broken into two parts. We talk about startup and we talk about scale up. I want to do all of this within 45 to 1 hour. Now, let's see how God went about creation. When God had a creation in mind, the product was man. The product, when God's spirit hovered over the earth, the product He was trying to create was man. But let's see, did He create man on the first day? Did He just move around and then create man? No, He did not do that. That's to tell you that there are processes that one needs to take before you get to your actual products. And every of this process is very, very, very important. And also through the process, we'll be seeing how every processes are very important. Now, some of the process, I'll mention some of the processes. Let's just take the process one after the other. I think I have about 6 of them. The very first one is concepting and owning your idea. Visions are very, very, very powerful. And I can tell you outright and expressly that any entrepreneur without a vision would get stuck and have a lot of issue growing or starting their business. This is absolute truth. When you're creating a business, when you have an idea, you have to own it. You have to concept it. Now, what do I mean? I have an idea. Let's start with our case study, which is God. God had an idea to create man. He owned the idea. He knows that what I want to do, be it good or bad, at the end of the day, I must get it done. Right? He came with a vision in mind, or a vision at heart. Because many times, one of the time, while we fail, many of the time is because our vision is not clear. And when we look at top brand, let's talk about Nike, let's talk about, okay, let me just talk brand, so we can talk about SMEs. When you see any brand, there's an SME, MME, scaling brand, or top brand, most time, they even tell their customers their vision. They tell everyone on their team their vision, because vision is very, very important. A vision we help you. So now, an entrepreneur without vision is like a scalar quantity. Magnitude, good idea, but no direction. Because they don't exactly have a vision. Now, someone with a vision is more of a vector quantity, or a vector element, or whatever, right? He has an idea and he has a direction. And vision is what propels how you go about your ideas. Now, there's a Bible passage that talks about seeing a vision, writing it clearly on the plain walls. So whosoever is running, we run with it. Now imagine there was no vision. Now you yourself are starting a business without a vision, without a clear plan of what you actually want to conceptualize. That would be a whole lot of problem. Let me also tell you that God has a mandate in mind when he was creating. Like vision was, okay, let us create man in our image, our likeness, so that I can have dominion, which was the mandate, which was the vision, the idea God had in mind. Like, okay, so let me create a man that can do this thing. Now, everything in the processes of God was actually to an endpoint, which is having an human that will take domination. Now, imagine God had not created everything he had created for man. What exactly would man have dominated? Now, that's what I'm saying, that your idea will determine your processes, what you have to focus on and what you're not to focus on. So as an entrepreneur, one of the major things you have to resolve really early is having a clear vision. Number two that I would really like to mention is resolving your dependencies. So let me talk about a brand I just consulted for recently. We want to run a bag business, and we have issue with sourcing of leathers, sourcing of needles, threads, and branding, packaging materials, and other stuff. If those issues and processes, that this particular process is not resolved, how exactly are we going to achieve the final product, which is the bag? You just imagine God creating man without lights. Imagine you're just overhead through the earth and he's like, let me create man out of dogs without any plan. You must understand that every dependency, everything that would affect your final product must be resolved. You want to create a bag business, you must know where to source good leather, where to source whatever kind of leather that you intend to use. You know, we have a lot of kind of leather, so let's not even dive deep into that. But what I'm trying to say in essence is that whatsoever your final product is dependent on, you have to resolve it. Now imagine the God moving, you know, it was during the creation that God was resolving that, okay, let the filament, let the atmosphere go up, let it stay down. Imagine all those things are in place. Where will be the dust that God will even create man from? Do you understand? So what I'm trying to say in essence is that you have to resolve all dependencies. You have to make sure you resolve them. You have to make sure you resolve them. Imagine you own a fintech company now. I have consulted for a fintech company in the past, and imagine having a fintech company where we are having major issues around payments gateway, and we do not resolve that. I want to start a company. You have to resolve everything your products will depend on. You have to resolve it first before going ahead with your products. In resolving your dependencies, you must understand very, very clearly that you cannot afford to jump any process. Yes, the processes of naming a brand, branding, you know, the last person that spoke to us went in depth on how branding should be approached. So we won't take a lot of time on that. Right? You can get the clips from the coordinators or the notes, so you can reference back to it. You have to follow every processes duly, starting with the process of naming your brand, branding your business, choosing your colors, choosing your fonts, choosing everything, and in short, sourcing your raw materials. You have to follow every process, because the truth is that every process you skip, they will come back to you and you have to resolve them. Now, it is harder to resolve some processes when you have started a business. It's harder. That's one of the reasons people get stuck. Because now, okay, I've jumped a lot of processes. I've jumped like 3 to 4 processes. Let me make an instance. People tell you, oh, the product you are selling is not worth this value. It might just be that you have not resolved. You might feel like, oh, it's what it's. But the truth is that it might just be that you did not resolve a process of sourcing proper leather from an affordable source. Now, let's use bag business for an instance. There's a lot of things that you have to resolve, and you cannot jump. You cannot jump. Emphasis on the fact that you cannot jump. It's better you take out time and say, okay, I want to run a fintech company. I have to resolve my payment issue. I have to resolve this. I have to resolve that. You have to resolve everything before you try to move forward with your final products. Now, build your products. In building your products, there is the how and there is the why. Now, the why would come from your visions. Now, let's say, for instance, let's take the bag business, for instance, first. I want to sell affordable bags so that everyone, every income class can have bag. That defines your thought process. The bags and SME, in an average SME, let me use, for instance, Make Comfits, which is the brand I'm consulting for. The bags Make Comfits sell are affordable than the bag Versace sells. Now, does it mean either both of them will not make sales? They would. They would make sales because their target, their vision has determined the kind of leather they will use, the kind of product they will source, and how to reach out to their customers. That is why having a clear vision on the why you are doing a product is very, very, very important. That cannot be over emphasized. Look at when God was creating man. God said, let us create man so that he can have dominion. The why. The why is something you must resolve very early in your brand. Because if you don't resolve the why, you will get stuck. So for instance now, you are selling, so I'll keep moving between the bad business, the fintech, and God. Just so we use those three as a case study. So I will not move out of it so we can understand clearly what I'm trying to say. So let's say the why is not well stated. Now you'll be panning in between. You'll be moving with every wave of brand you see. So for instance, today you say, okay, I want to start back business. No well defined why. You start selling bags, affordable bags of as low as 10,000 naira. Tomorrow, Versace just announced we just sold one, or let's say 10,000 pieces of a Versace bag worth $1,000 each. You feel like, so I don't need a bag $1,000 as well. Yeah, let me go and buy. Let me start producing my bag for $1,000. You move with every wave of whatsoever. You see, and that's why it's very, very important and critical. A lot of entrepreneurs have made this mistake. Let me tell you, in time past, I've made those mistakes too. That I would just see some things. It really looks cool, looks nice, but it's not in my my plans of what I'm looking forward to this brand achieving. But I just move with it because I'm seeing good results from their end. But the truth is that whatsoever you look forward to achieving, as long as you stay clear to your vision, you stick to your vision, you will definitely achieve it. Let's say you want to be selling luxurious bags, and at the late stage, quote unquote, you're not making a lot of money. It's just a matter of time. You would get to the stage where Versace and the likes of them get to. Let's say you want to build a product, a bag product where it is more affordable for lookers, and you feel like, oh, the margin is not a lot. That's the idea from the onset. That's why vision, the why you're creating your business is very, 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 very important. Now, let's go to the why. The why. Why am I creating this business? Now, let's go to the how. How am I creating this product? The Bible said that and God created man in his own image after his likeness. Now, God understands his image. He knows that this is a functional this is a functional image, this is a functional likeness that can deliver the why we want to create. And he went ahead. You must understand how you want to approach your business. How do you want to approach it? How do you want to approach your, because the how will determine a lot of things. So for instance, now you don't want to do, yes, good branding. You have to do good branding and those things, but you don't want to do a branding that sells to the mind of the high class when your product is defined for the low class. The how you want to create your product is very, very, very important. So, for example, as I was saying, with having the final consumers in mind, how do you want to push out? How do you want to make your product? Now, let's make an instance of a fintech problem, and this has become a menace in fintech. Let me use that example. That's a very good example. Just keep to mind now. Many people say, I want to bank the unbank, right? And many of the times, the approach to the products cannot unbank the unbank. Cannot bank the unbank, sorry. The approach to the product can never bank the unbank. Okay, so for instance now, you are producing a supposed banking the unbank app for iPhone or for Samsung users or for, let's say, Android users, for smartphone users. Let's just put it like that. The truth is, many people that are using smartphone today are banked. So when you understand your why very well, it will definitely affect the how you want to approach it. it will definitely affect the how you want to approach it. And how you approach it is as important as the reason, because they are going hand in hand. Imagine God has created man like a snake. So we all start calling. We cannot deliver the mandate, which is dominion. Imagine that we are just lions that could not communicate. We can just growl at each other. Excuse me. We will not deliver the mandate that God had in mind. So the how you want to approach your products is as important as the why. Now, the final part of the process is testing your products. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs are scared of testing their products. From research, interactions, and all those things, I have come to that. I've been able to, the data I have has informed me that a lot of entrepreneurs are always scared of testing their products. Really, I understand the fear that comes with testing products, right? But testing your products is as important as building the products. Is as important as building products. And testing your products kind of sound like a techie kind of term. No, it's not just techie. I'll go through some examples. Probably we'll go an all-around example with the three case study we have, so we can understand. Now, for instance, when God was creating man, God always tests every process. In short, beyond testing your products, test every process. Be sure. God created light. He saw that it was good. Nice. Let's move. God created this. He saw that it was good. God created animals. He saw that it was good. So he created everything before man, and he said it was good. And yes, exactly, God was blessing them. Now, you are creating you are creating a brand, a bad brand. Every process, test them. Is this product good? Is this product fit? Is this kind of class of products fit? Is this brand of products fit? Let's say, is this kind of leathers fit? Is this kind of branding fit for this product? Because you have to test everything to be sure that it does not affect your final product. And let me keep emphasizing the fact that every process you skip or you probably did not test properly, they will come back to hurt you. Let's say you want to create a bag, and you have no buying synthetic leathers for probably, let's say, for middle class, bags for middle class. You're not using a synthetic leather. You go ahead and buy original leather. Original leather itself is not meant for low class to start with. You have to test every of your process to be sure that they work, and be ready to accommodate feedbacks. Be ready to accommodate every feedback, be it positive, be it negative. You have to appreciate every kind of feedback. I noted some kind of let's someone you get feedback from someone, person that, oh, your product is good, your product is awesome. Still ask them, how can I improve on my products? Still ask them, how exactly can I improve on this product? Because let me tell you something, the product you think that you currently have, which is supposedly the best, is never the best. And it's not, I'm not trying to diss you or attack you. Is that as long as the word exists, there's an opening for improvement. I currently work with a couple of companies, and every time I get a good feedback, I still ask them, so how can we improve on our services? How? So people tell you, I don't really know. No, you have to know. If it takes that, you should go and meet them. Face them. Because many times when you face them, you will figure that I don't know, or there is no way you will get an answer. You will definitely get an answer. Probably an answer in your processes, an answer in your product, or an answer in your pricing. There will be somewhere that is open that you would resolve their problem. So make sure you get a solid feedback. It's not, you must. I understand that this positive feedback is to judge. As an entrepreneur, you need a drive. You need a drive that, oh, my product is good, my product is usable. But as much as those things are beautiful, they are very, very fine. You have to always know that it can be better, and let that it can be better stick to your mind, because that will be the propelling force for you to want to get feedback. Now, what happens in the case where you get negative feedback? If you get negative feedback, don't be scared. God is the most perfect person in the world, and that is why he was one of my major case study. God is the most perfect person in the world, and God looked at one of his products and said it was no good, and that was man. After creation of man has lived a long time. So now Let's look at I forgot the number of years Adam lived, but I know quite well. Adam lived a very long time, and in those years, I'm sure God would have been coming around and looking at how can I improve this product? How can I improve this product? How can I improve product? It looks good, yes, it looks good, but how can I improve? And it got to a point, and God said, product you there. That's why I use my mother language, which means this product is not good. This product is not good. It is not good for a man to be alone. Let me create an help fit for him. You see, you will not be the first person that will hear your product is bad, right? God himself looked at his products and like, no, this product is not good enough. If your clients give you feedback, it's not time to drag them that, you that I gave discount, so I'm sorry that I'm mixing your buy in another stuff. You that I gave discount, you are still giving me bad feedback. It's not time to do all those things. Get negative feedback, integrate it back into your processes. Because for every feedback, even when you think the feedback is not accurate, there is an element of truth in every feedback you get. You must know that there's an element of truth. So if someone tell you that, no, your product is really bad, encourage them to tell you more. Get more details and integrate it back into your process. And when you improve your product, for instance, when God improved his product, it was like, yes, now this is good, and God bless that. Now, the thing is, when you get your feedback, integrate it. Even if possible, to get feedback, there are many ways you can get feedback. So for some of the things I do with company that I consult for is that I will encourage that for every feedback you get, give them a voucher for their next purchase. Now, why there is a voucher? If truly your product is good, they will use their voucher. If someone stays months, years, I did not use that voucher, it means the person was lying with the feedback. If the person has said, okay, your product is wonderful, brilliant product, nice product, and eventually the person you give person voucher, 30% discount, 40% discount, the person 1 year is going, 2 years going, the person not use your voucher, the person has just lied to you that the product was good. Because good products are highly reusable, and people you keep using products that are very good. People will keep using it. One of the things we use, for instance, I run a business in Ibadan, Cafe. It's a delivery business, and one of the biggest in Ibadan actually. Not to make our head big, but that's the truth. Now, anytime someone gives us feedback, I make sure we give the person discounts. If you come back, our product is good. See, sometimes when I give people discounts, they'll be like, I'm not sure I'll use a discount too. After giving us good feedback, supposedly good feedback, I'm not sure I'll use a discount too. Madam, why are you not using our feedback? Your rider was rude. The truth of the feedback, the truth will start coming out. The truth will come out. No matter how someone, even you that are listening to this video, you cannot use a bad product. So sometimes when you get discounts, you'll be forced. Okay, so for instance, I do a delivery for 2,000 naira, for instance. Now I'm not telling that on your next delivery, you are giving me 30% off. 30% off is about 900 naira, I think. Now you are looking at my next delivery, right? Cover the same distance. They want to give me for 1,100. Let me tell you, you will want to use it because it's affordable. Now you'll be forced to tell us the feedback because you will not want to have the same past experience, the bad one that you had, right? You will not want to have it, so you'll be forced to tell us what the truth about our products is, and that is how to test your products. And if whatever feedback they give you, you integrate it back. For instance, there was a time, I think last month, 31st of May, we laid off 3 riders, and because they were part of the bad eggs. If that is what requires that you lay off staff, as much as I don't advocate for laying off staff, right? If that is what it requires to get your product better, make sure you fire the person. If it is sourcing for another plug to get your jobs done, get another person. If it is sourcing for another raw material, source for them authentic, because all these things must, like I said, must be integrated back into your processes. Now, that is the first section for startup. And for scale up, this is pretty a short one for scale up because you already have solved a lot of problem and you have a working product that you can say, yes, my product is working. Now, if you have a working solution, trust me, like I said earlier, it is not the best. You have to strive. You have to long for you to make your product better. You have to keep looking at how can I improve this product? How can I improve this product? Now, one thing you must have handy, like I wrote in my notes, is that one thing you must have handy is that scale up problems are very different. scale up problem are very, very different. Scale up problems are very different. I said in my note I wrote, currently I'm the head of growth at Catway Logistics in Ibadan, and you know the products we started with, the problems we started with, I know the problem we are currently having now. When you are scaling up, when we had 2 bikes, the problem was actually a problem. I can handle the problem. It can seem like I can handle the problem. But with this one, I'll just tell you, no, you can't do it like this. You can't do it like this. Now you start scaling to 8, 10 bikes. You begin to have different problem that is not even some of the problem you were resolving when you were starting. You might even lose focus on it. For instance, I always look at the quality of our conversation with most of our vendors. Let's say riders with our vendor interaction, everything. I go into so much details when we just started. We just have like 2, 3 bikes. It's easy for me to go into dive into those details and get them because they were just not a handful. But when they start becoming 7, 8, 9, we start having partners, people saying, okay, can you run my bike for me, and all those things. It becomes a different problem they are facing. So you might even get distracted from the root problem. And many times, let me tell you something. Many of the times, don't, if it requires you to have a sheet where you write all your problems that you are resolving one by one and how you follow them up, it's better to put that structure in place, because we almost have it even on our own part. Lost, I will take that's the truth. That's the truth. As much as I consult for business and I help people business, doesn't mean that there are still not some places I will overlook and all those things. Now, what I'm trying to say, I say all of that to just mention that you have to have a structure for feedbacks and handling problem, because at a time we do all those things like getting the feedback from the clients, getting one-to-one, following up with clients. But you know, when the bikes start getting much, the riders are much, I couldn't exactly get those feedbacks like I used to get them, because they were a lot to handle in a day. So I forgot those things until I started getting back-to-back complaints, and I had to revisit that processes. I had to get someone that would be handling disputes only, and that is why I'm saying that everything you don't tackle, we tackle you. So you have to eventually retaliate and tackle them. Now, so like I said, for every problem you look into, it will always create an avenue for you to always look into your processes and improve on your processes. And the last thing I'll be looking at in scale up is partnership. Many entrepreneurs run away from partnership. People run away from partnership. People are not interested in becoming partner with nobody. Everybody wants to be on their own. I want to be an independent body. I want to be this. I want to be that. Let me tell you the truth. The best of the brand were created for partnership. Talk of Nike, Coca-Cola, talk of any top brand, Versace and the likes of them. They are born out of partnership. Like Yoruba will say, Igikon, Okindagboshi. Yeah, for it to grow, that means that one tree can make a forest, right? And for you to go to a point, you have to partner with people. You have to have partners, business partners, people that are working on your idea, or you're working on their own idea, as the case may be, and you are trying to get results, similar results, as long as the vision align. And I understand that a lot of people are scared of becoming partners with people because of a lot of reasons. You know, for instance, now some people have issues. The list of the issues you should have normally, but Nigeria, I figure that Nigeria has a lot of the issues that I want to be the CEO of the brand. Let me tell you something. Heavy is there that lies the crown. I figured that it was because the queen, the royal crown. I just figured that recently in the UK is heavy. But truly, that's why probably the quote came out. But truly is that heavy is truly the head that wears the crown. There are a lot of things you have to understand that the CEO you have to look out for. And why I'm saying this is that everybody likes the title of CEO, even when they're not CEO. And I can tell you that being the CEO might not even be the best thing you have to be in that company. Sometimes it might just be focusing on where your strength is. Like I said earlier, I'm one of the founding members of Catway. In short, I started Catway myself. Many times I used to look at, okay, I'm doing the role of a CEO in the time. If I find a better CEO, probably find a better CEO. I'll probably have it. And that's why many times when I address myself as the head of growth, because that's where truly my strength lies. Yes, I can function as a CEO as well. However, I'm focusing on where my strength lies. Now, many of the time, you might just get a business partner, someone that can function as a CEO, and you just focus on where your strength is as a product manager, or as a growth person, or as an administrator, or as an accountant, whatsoever you know your strength is. Focus more on partnering with people, because when you partner with people, your stress has reduced. You know, there is even a Bible passage that said that one will chase 1,000, we put 10,000 flights. The truth is that partnership are very powerful, very powerful, very powerful. Actually, very powerful. Now, if many other reasons can be, you don't want to be cheated, you don't want to be You don't want to be cheated. You don't want to feel left out in your own brand and all those things. All of these things are could be very value using. But here are some things you have to note in picking a partner. Now, the very first thing is check out the value of your partners. Does the value align? This person wants to be your partner tomorrow. Do you guys have similar value? Do you guys agree on the same thing? Do you guys have a sense of direction? Can both of you work together and move the same route? Like the Bible will say, can two work together except the okay, can two go a direction? I think there's a version that says can two go move a direction except I forgot how to say, but something like they have to. I don't use the normal popular one, the easy way. So there's a particular version that actually mentioned that two people cannot move, probably make progress except they agree on the direction to go, right? The truth is that I think that's in Amos 3:3. So there's a version that says something like they have to agree on direction they are going. So you have to look at your values. Does our values align? Does our values align? If your values align, you can go for the partnership. Another thing to look out for is have a discussion. Have a discussion. Don't rush into a partnership. The more the conversation, like I will always say, the better it is. If it takes 2 years before you lock that partnership, take your 2 years to lock the partnership, because the truth of the matter is that you have different partners. You have partners that will help you grow your business, that will be involved in your business. Like I have business partner that you're just offering them services. Focus on partnership, but partnership also help you grow your business. For instance, now Catway is the partner to So Fresh in Ibadan, Chef Carbs, some of the top brands you can mention in Ibadan. Catway is like a partner to them. We are delivery partners to them. Focus more. Yeah, you might do, those ones are even another kind of partnership entirely. They're business partner, but I want to bring it all together so we can have it. Because when you have partners, grow your business faster. Why we are actually scaling really fast? Because of partnership. We are partnered with almost all the biggest brands in Ibadan, and so we are now like, okay, we need more hands, we need more bikes, we need more vehicles, more facilities to actually push our deliveries forward. So what I'm trying to say is that partnership, be it someone that will work with you or work for you or work alongside with you, and someone you work for, partnership in terms of business partners, you have to know that partnership will make you grow faster. Another very crucial part of partnership is that have a written agreement, and this is a pit hole many people fall in. Oh, let me I agree. Some of my best closest friends are partners with Catway. They have investment in Catway, and I have a written agreement with them. Some of my best friends, probably you will say issue with me. That's the vein in my neck. We have written agreements, and that doesn't mean money can necessarily money can cost. Okay, so in my sentiment, I know money cannot cost because we've passed through all those trying times. But what I'm trying to say is that as much as that trying times we passed it, we still have a clearly written agreement that everybody knows what their role is, either their role is what they. Even my brother, even my blood brother, I was talking about him coming on board on Catway at a certain interval, and I already have an agreement written. So it's not business. You have to always treat your business like it's not yourself. Because if you want to grow a business that will outgrow you or outlive you, now in this case, the other want to grow a business that will outlive you, you definitely have to treat business like a unique thing or like an individual thing that is not you. So have a written document, and in every of your written documents, which is the last one, in every of your written documents, make sure there's a clear cancellation clause. So if anybody calls this line, business barry. If anybody calls this line, we are done with our business. You have to have a clear cancellation clause, and don't use emotions. Yeah, he's my best friend. He will not do anything bad to me. He will not hurt me. He will not harm me. He's my brother. He will not hurt me. He will not harm me. No, have a clear cancellation clause. So when anybody know they cross the line, they cross it. You cancel the business partnership or whatever business partnership you have. Either is a business partner or is someone that is working with you, like an external business partner or internal business partner. And this is where I drop the pen. Thank you very much for having me tonight. And now I'm open for questions that I would like to have. So the question reads, how do you deal with people that are taking your products, despite the fact that they are making profit from it? They always make you feel they are doing you a favor. So I'll read, despite they're making profit from it means that your product is usable and they are making you feel like they're doing you a favor. The truth is, if your product is usable and client is coming back, is buying, and they make you feel like it's doing you a favor. The truth is, then let's take our lens from the product. Let's take the lens even from the supposed buyer. Let's bring the lens to you. Is when you are not sure of your product, the way you sell the product affects how people would interact with your products. So I don't want to sell a product and sound like No. If you are sure of your product, there's a way you sound, in tone of your voice, the way you approach your sales would affect the way people perceive your product. So, for instance, I was having a conversation during the week. I'm actually working with a tea company here in the city of Ilori, and we're having a conversation about giving discounts. And we conclude that our discounts can only be marginal, 5%, because our product is worth even higher than the price we've set for the product. Now, nobody can make me feel like they are doing us a favor by buying our products. Nobody can make you feel. So I feel you should work on the words, choice of words you use in selling your product, how you approach your marketing. You have to sound like you're sure your product is working. If your product is really working, why are you not sure about it? Now, if someone make you feel, you know, this thing, the way I'm saying it is more like a person problem, like that's the vendors or the producers problem than even the person on the other end. Because there's a way you tell people that I work with real estate company, and I tell people, I'm not trying to beg you for your money to come and buy real estate. If you buy properties today, it is to your benefit, not mine. Do you understand? So you let them understand. And when people see enough benefits in your products, trust me, they would not feel like they are being compelled to buy your products. Why you must compel people? Yeah, you must like persuade people. Not persuade now. Let me define my words. You must let people understand why they should buy your products. As much as they are doing that, you should understand when you are crossing the line to begging people. Compelling and begging. Let's use that. Compelling people is better than begging people to buy your products. So I feel if you have crossed your T's when it comes to the way you sound, the way you sell your products, nobody would make you feel like they are doing you a favor. And you yourself, you have to go and esteem. You have to go and esteem, and you have to trust your product enough that my product works. So you cannot make me feel this way about the products. There are sometimes you have to use firm words even when you're marketing. Tell them that if you feel the product is not good enough, I would advise. No, I don't want to use that word, so I won't get because marketing is a whole big deal, right? But I won't use that kind of. But there's a way you can let clients know that if this business does not pay you and what you're buying does not pay you, then stop buying it. If they come back, then your product is usable. Another question reads, I've been trying to start a business. Oftentimes, I see the need to start for free because of the type of business I have in mind. Eventually, I want people to move to the next phase where you have to move from paid and from free to paid. What's the ideal way of moving from free to paid version, especially when you haven't gained grounds, but you need profit to move to the next phase? Any business that is not profitable will die a natural death. Let's have that in mind. Every business that is not profitable will die a natural death, because you need to scale, you need to do a lot of things. So I understand your question very well, but this is how I would approach that. So I have a product where you want to do a freemium before having a paid version. What you should do is that limit the time where they enjoy the freemium, the free version. Let's use that, the free version. So it's not be existing our tongue. So you limit the time. For instance, now you've seen have you used services that you take that 1 week free? Like, at least test my product though, but you can't test it for longer than this time, because if you don't give a limited time, so at the same time where you're having paid version, you can be having free people use your product. So you tell people, see, the value you communicate with your product from the onset will affect the how people approach your product. So for instance, now let me say Catway, for instance, if your first delivery before used to be 500 anywhere across Ibadan, so you want to send us from people that are familiar with Ibadan, you want to send us from Moniya to Akala Express, we'll collect 500 for your first delivery. That's the way to tell your clients, oh yeah, come on board now, we can do this thing, we can do it well. But the truth is that after our very first delivery, we are not doing anyone for you at that rate. We use our standard rates immediately, and we'll let you know that this particular version, why we can't do it 100% free, it is you're getting on the platform. Even you know that this thing I'm getting is more than worth it. So if, as long as you have a value to sell, you have to understand that if you are moving from free version to paid version, you have to put a limited time to your free version, so people can know that this free version is just enjoyable by you for maybe a week or 2 weeks, a month or 2 months. So let's say you are, and you can run promo, limited promo. For instance, now when you start your products, you can say the first 20 people are free, And let me say, for instance, let me make an instance of someone that writes CV covers, right? You are an expert in writing, you write good copies and all those things. You can tell them that the first 20 people that subscribe to this kind of copy is getting free. And when you are done with it, you're out. You have to, I think, putting a limit to the timeline where you are doing a free version makes people clear that you actually value it. It's not like I'm doing a free service or a free product and there's no timeline to it. People just feel like anytime they can come, they can backs in and backs out of using your services.